Hello and welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo-Baka. Tax consultant Francis Timoboy has described the government's tax to GDP ratio of 18% for 2025 as overly ambitious, but says its feasibility will depend on resetting the country's tax system. According to him, the current tax of GDP ratio of 14% falls short of the global minimum requirement of more than 15%. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Timoboy said, although the target may be achieved, its viability will depend on enforcing compliance and engagements.
It is very ambitious, but I think it's doable because currently we are doing around 14%. And I heard him saying that even the latest number has dropped from 14.1% in 2023 to around 13.8%.
Yeah.
And if you look at over the period, 2019, we did around 2019 we did around 13.1, 2021 we did 13, and then 2022 we did 13.1. Whilst all other African countries are doing better, they are above the global minimum. IMF says that for you to describe yourself as a country which is able to govern itself with internally generated fund, your tax to GDP ratio should be more than 15%. And for several years we are just below 15%. If you take Nigeria, which is doing 7-8%, and for them, you know, they have too much oil to rely on. So tax revenue is not a problem for them. We are not doing the best. So I think that the 18% is a very ambitious target. It will depend on the type of reforms he brings, the type of tax policy that he introduced during his term, and then how he's able to enforce compliance through engagement with the relevant stakeholders without incurring the wrath of the business community. At the end of the day, if you achieve voluntary compliance, that is what modern tax administration is. So we really expect that he really reset the tax system. Me personally, I've been advocating for a special tax regime for the informal sector. They contribute largest to the economy, yet we are unable to identify them and even tax them. Yeah. So we need some reforms in the tax system, and I think that if he's able to do that within his tenure, he'll be able to achieve, even if he's not able to achieve the 18 to 20% as the GRA themselves have in their strategic plan for 2023 to 2027, he will be able to raise it above the minimum threshold that we have currently. At least we should go beyond 15%.
President John Mahama in the last couple of hours, has appointed Justina Nelson as the acting chief executive officer of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund. And this follows the termination of the appointment of Mr. Edward Nana Yao Granting as its CEO. And I would like to share with you the letter of appointment from the office of the president. Well, it is captured, appointment of acting chief executive officer for Minerals Income and Investment Fund. The president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has, in accordance with Article 195+1 of the Constitution and Section 21+2 of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund, Act 2018, Act 978, appointed Ms. Justina Nelson as the acting chief executive officer of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund. Ms. Nelson is an accomplished banking professional with over 20 years' experience. She is currently a group head at Zenith Bank, Ghana Limited, with oversight responsibility for both the energy and commercial banking sectors. Ms. Nelson holds a Master of Laws in Corporate and Commercial Law and a Master in Business Administration, Marketing specifically, both from the University of Ghana. It concludes by saying she also holds a Bachelor of Laws Honours degree from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and a Bachelor of Arts Honours degree in Management and Psychology from the University of Ghana. And this is signed by the acting spokesperson to the President, Felix Kwachi Fosu. Meanwhile, Director General of the National Lottery Authority, Samia Wuku, has announced his resignation as boss of the authority. Mr. Wuku, in a letter to President Mahama, explained that he took the decision after winning the Ikuapim North parliamentary seat. He is therefore urging President John Mahama to quickly appoint a new Director General to aid a smooth transition. Now, Ghana's leading insurance provider, Star Assurance, has marked its 40th anniversary, celebrating 4 decades of excellence in Ghanaian insurance industry. The acting chief executive, Samia Wuku, announced the launch of the company's Moto Insurance promotion. Here's more from Helen Nakai.
The milestone event the stakeholders, clients, employees, and key dignitaries to highlight Star Assurance's remarkable journey and its contributions to financial security and development in Ghana. Under the theme Experience You Can Trust, the celebration reflected the company's commitment to delivering innovative insurance solutions and empowering individuals and businesses across the country. Chief Executive of Star Assurance, Samia Wuku, announced the company's Moto Insurance promo geared towards the anniversary named 40 Reasons to Smile.
As we commemorate this milestone, we are thrilled to launch our 40 Reasons to Smile, our Moto Insurance promo. This is an opportunity to engage our customers with quarterly draws, exciting prizes, and also to engage our partners and our clients as well. As said by my COO, we will be having various prizes, including an all-expense paid trip to Dubai, and also would have several souvenirs. This exciting promo is linked to our Moto Insurance portfolio, knowing that in Ghana, Moto Insurance is the most popular insurance.
Chief Executive of Ascoma Ghana, Nicholas Jambu, also underscored the importance of exploring new markets and increasing the company's visibility.
And they should explore new markets because there are new markets arising. Ghana is a growing country, it's a growing economy. So there's more and more people being in the need for insurance. There are some insurance products also which are not yet very much popular on the market, on the Ghanaian market, unlike in the sub-region or in the world. Let me talk about the agri insurance and things like that.
President of the Chartered Institute of Insurance, Solomon Latte, also called for increased education on insurance.
So what needs to be done is actually more education and also people willing to offer information. Giving a lot of information. But when you want to buy insurance, people don't want to give information. And that has been the main reason why it looks like insurance claims take longer to pay. Simply because insurance companies do not have a lot of information on you. So at the time of claim, that is when they begin to ask for information. So that's a big problem.
Looking ahead, Star Assurance reaffirmed its commitment to driving inclusive growth, protecting livelihoods, and empowering communities through innovative insurance solutions tailored to Ghana's evolving needs.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, GCB Bank PLC has cut salt for a pediatric unit at the University of Ghana Hospital. Managing Director at GCB Bank PLC, John Kofi Adomako, says this is part of the bank's move to give back to where it operates. She spoke to Joy Business during the sword cutting ceremony.
The construction of the unit forms part of the bank's agenda of contributing to improved healthcare services targeted at the youngest and most vulnerable members of the society. Mr. Adomako mentioned that the construction of the unit represented a profound opportunity for the bank to make a lasting impact on the health and well-being of children.
GCB, the premier bank in Ghana, as you are aware, is a bank that's for the people. It's typically a retail, a commercial bank spread all over the country. And so we have customers, we have stakeholders spread all over Ghana with over 184 branches. So it's the main bank, GCB, as you know, the main bank in Ghana. Now our interest is to return value to our shareholders. Okay, that's where the priority is, to return value to shareholders. And then other stakeholders. There are other stakeholders who are also very important. Our customers, our staff, our regulators are all stakeholders, and we have to make sure that we give value for whatever we do. But we are not only focusing on GCB, if you know the way the bank was set up. It's not only a bank there to make money. Money is important, but how we carry people along, how people benefit through socio-economic development is very, very key. And so we have a policy, a corporate social responsibility policy, where we put aside some of our profits every year to give back to the communities where we work, the communities who support us, the communities who give us the staff, the communities who give us business. And these are Ghanaian communities.
On her part, Professor Nanaba Apiamfu stated that it is important to acknowledge that the resources required to transform the operations of the hospital and the Health Service Directorate cannot be shouldered by the university alone.
Our university is undergoing substantial and deliberate transformation as part of our collective aspiration to transform lives and societies through unparalleled scholarship, innovation, and result-oriented discoveries. The Health Services Directorate, which plays a crucial role in the well-being of staff and the wider community, is an integral part of this transformation. This is because university management considers the health and wellness of members of the community as one of its utmost priorities. Through the implementation of comprehensive health and wellness programs and provision of appropriate infrastructure, as well as administrative and logistical support, we are creating an environment that enables our staff to perform at their optimum capacity. These efforts reflect our unwavering commitment to delivering excellent health services in spite of resource and infrastructural constraints.
The pediatric unit, when completed, will include a 6-bed neonatal intensive care unit equipped to offer a neonatal intensive care for preterm babies, as well as an 8-bed high-dependency unit for a specialized pediatric care, which is usually not available in a normal ward.
President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, is making a request for some special funds to cater for businesses that were affected by the fire incident at the Katamanto clothing market here in Accra. According to him, this is critical since many of the businesses have lost their capital and are likely to face difficulties in reviving the operations. His call follows a decision by Absa Bank to support the victims with about 150,000 cedis and other building materials to help rebuild the market. Here's a report.
Donation by Absa Bank is expected to go a long way to revive the operations of many businesses that were affected by the inferno as they begin to build back. As many shops were destroyed with traders losing huge sums of money, the victims are calling on government to intervene in reviving their operations. Speaking to Joy Business after receiving the donation from Absa Bank, the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, emphasized the need for some special funding support for the victims.
I've been talking or calling for establishment of a fund for the informal sector, for the SMEs, for the women in trade, and there's the startups. It's very important because the commercial interest rate is abnormal and it is consuming all our capital. And so we feel the need that we make a conscious effort as a government, that's the appeal, where the appeal goes, to set up a very patient fund. I don't know whether it's the correct word, but a fund that has no restrictions, no ties, so that it can be given at a subsidized rate, so that businesses can have the respite that it needs, especially those in the informal sector. It's very important.
Beyond the donation, Absa Bank has also announced some free special packages for traders affected at the market.
Our focus is to deal with especially the wholesalers who can borrow from us. And for the women, we are able to lend up to 1 million Ghana cedis to them without any collateral, without financials, without collateral. And the expectation is that if we're able to support them up to 1 million Ghana cedis without collateral, they can import these used clothing and also support the small traders who come to them to buy and sell. And for wholesalers and importers who do not have accounts with Absa Bank, we have a special package to ensure that once they open an account, instead of waiting for 3 months, 6 months, we're going to look at their request separately and specially to ensure that we support them financially if they qualify.
Chairman for the Used Clothes Dealers Association used the opportunity to call on other financial institutions to come to the aid of the traders.
Chief Operating Officer of Tech Hub, Jemima Prempeh, has emphasized the need to harness young people's tech skills to prepare Africa into the tech space. According to her, this is key to also addressing the state of unemployment in the country. She spoke to Joy Business at the grand finale of Tech Hub's Africa Startup Pitch competition.
The Tech Hub Africa is an organization dedicated to building a thriving tech ecosystem across Africa to empower innovators on the continent to scale up and further bridge the digital divide, creating the path for Africa to be recognized as a global leader in technology. Chief Operating Officer Jemima Prempeh said, to achieve the organization's goal, there's the need to leverage the expertise and knowledge in the space to mentor, coach, nurture, and fund the ideas of young innovators in the country and the continent.
Firstly, we need people with a can-do attitude, right? I think the fear of failure for Africans is too strong. So we have a lot of women who would not even attempt into the tech space, which is sad. But we're here to change that narrative. We feel like women belong in that space, and we want to encourage them from a very young age to take up technology. So we're looking at people in the universities, in the secondary schools, and start encouraging them to enter the tech space. What we intend to do is to help people or help Africa bridge that divide, and that's what I said. Because of that, we need to train them from a very young age. I think with technology, the older people, I mean, their time is gone, let's put it that way. There's still a lot they can learn, but the future belongs to the youth. So they are the people that we're focusing on. If we can get the youth to take up this space, watch out Europe, watch out USA, because we're coming, Africa is coming. That's what I can say.
Tech Hub Africa, co-founded by two sisters, Doreen Ewuku-Ajiman and Jemima Prempeh, aims to foster a vibrant ecosystem that nurtures creative ideas, offers funding, and accelerates the growth of homegrown technologies.
Let's now do something in the energy space, because Minister for Energy Designate John Jinapor has announced plans to introduce some amendments to the country's exploration laws to give incentives to investors willing to explore on the Voltian Basin. This, he believes, will attract the best global exploration firms to take up blocks on the basin and other areas yet to be explored for oil production. Answering questions at the Appointments Committee yesterday in Parliament, Mr. Jinapor assured that when given the nod, he will lead the charge for amendments.
You are right, because in the upstream sector, crude oil volumes are declining rapidly. From a peak of 71 million barrels in 2019, 2023, we did only 48 million. So there's a sharp decline of 32%. And if nothing is done, the upstream sector will collapse. In the Voltian Basin, I'm told they shot or shoot some 2D seismic data. I'm also told that they've done some parcels of allocation, which ought to come to Parliament. I intend that we'll review that immediately, within days or weeks, if I get your nod and I'm sworn in. If we review them and we find those agreements satisfactory, would immediately come to Parliament. But I hold the view that we should relook at 919. All our neighbors, their current and participating interest is 10%. And as we move through the energy transition, you must quickly tap your stranded assets. So we would do a stakeholder engagement and get a buy-in of Ghanaians and incentivize the upstream players to invest, because it's very expensive. And that is something that we intend to pursue aggressively, even as we go through the energy transition.
Vice-Chancellor of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, Professor Elvis Asari Bediako, is requesting the government to reconsider establishing local funding mechanisms to support research and innovation activities in Ghana. Local researchers have over the years bemoaned their dependence on foreign donors to undertake research, which often has no recourse to the nation's development needs. Now, these, some local scientists say, could lead to a breach of the country's security. Professor Sari Bediako believes a locally established fund for research could also allow researchers in Ghana conduct scientific investigations into subjects of interest to national development. There is more in the following Business Desk report.
Research has been the very rudiment of fostering national development for many developed and high-level income countries. But in many developing countries like Ghana, local research failed to inform policy owing to the lack of needed public funding and resources for scientific investigations. Speaking at the first phase of the first cohort for grant writing for the staff of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, Vice-Chancellor Professor Elvis Asari Bediako highlighted the essence of local funds for research projects.
Some may be interested in a particular crop. And so, let's say between soybean and cowpea, between soybean and cowpea. Cowpea is key for, it's a food security crop here. But some funding agency may want you to develop more research into the soybean production. So they are directing the research. In fact, that one I must say that largely it's true. That is the reason why, as a nation, we must also set up our own fund, or also support research in areas that are so unique to us, instead of relying entirely on the foreign, funding sources that would direct the areas.
Some 25 members of faculty at the University of Energy and Natural Resources participated in the grant writing program. Selected from various schools and administrative units of the university, the participants were exposed to the tenets of research and proposals for grants. The 5-day workshop forms part of streamlined activities to increase research capacity for enhanced output of the university's vision over the last 4 years. It is to support the research and innovation ecosystem of the university. Dr. Peter Sanford is the director for the Center of Grants, Research and Innovation at the university.
So the focus of this training was to train the staff to be able to effectively write that concept note. And so over the past 5 years, that's what we've been doing. And most of the participants had not written any concept note before. But today, all of them can draft, conceptualize a project idea, go through the guidelines that we have presented and draft a concept note. So on that basis, we have been able to achieve our objectives.
Some participants shared benefits obtained from the week-long workshop.
I would say our capacities have been built. We've improved on ourselves, and we are now in a much better position to be able to write a grant that would hopefully then lead to success.
The program is expected to span an entire year with mentoring and coaching sessions for the participants to enhance their skills in research and innovation. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Let's now go to the commodities market. That's all in this package. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Always a pleasure serving you. Prime Source is next with Razak Musbal.